Welcome to the show, everybody. Joseph Robert Camo, the fantasy football counselor. Massive episode here today. We're talking about the top 10 players to avoid for fantasy football 2021. And these are just not average names. These are huge names. This is not somebody you pick up in the 10th round. This is somebody you probably get in the first round, but you want to avoid it. But I'm going to explain why you need to avoid these guys, okay? I've been really good at nailing this. Last year, let me give you an example. Michael Thomas, they said, put Joe in a straitjacket. That guy's crazy. Why would I avoid Michael Thomas? Coming top 5 pick off the board. Every single draft I did, top 5 pick. I said it was a pinnacle year. He's going to decline. There's no way he repeats that. Got hurt. Sure enough, what goes up must come down. Another guy, Austin Ekeler last year. He's not a full workhorse running back. Ekeler came onto my social media. Why would you say that about me, Joe? I said, well, you've been a backup for years. You're not that good. He busted. Kenyon Drake, busted. Lamar Jackson, round 2, busted. Chris Godwin, round 2. Everyone said, grab Chris Godwin. I said, no, Brady spreads the ball around. There's no way him and Evans both finished the top 10. Both of them finished outside the top 10, right? And there's so many more examples I can get into, but the point I'm trying to make here, Odell Beckham Jr., 4 years in a row, we dodged him. You got to be careful. Now, I'm going to explain why to avoid these guys and just draft somebody else. There's way more secure players to draft, and we're going to talk about that, okay? Before we do, guys, and if you want to know exactly which players to draft, get the 16-round draft solution. I've linked it below. It'll help you guys crush your leagues. The first ever and only video training where I walk you through who to draft, when to draft them, optimal players, mock drafts, everything you need, sleepers, all in one spot, guys. This is all you need, literally. Get it below. It's going to help you with auction draft as well because you're going to know which players to draft, know when to hold them, know when to fold them, how much to spend in auction drafts. And people ask me, is it good for 10, 12, 14 people leagues? Yes, it is. It'll work because you know which players to draft. Get the 16-round draft solution at thefantasyfootballcounselor.com or linked it below. And check this baby out. Check out my package, guys. This is an amazing package. Check this out, manscaped.com. Use promo code SHOWERLINE and save yourself 20%. SHOWERLINE, that's secret. The Lawnmower 4.0, guys. Listen to this. Skin-safe technology, rechargeable battery, LED spotlight, waterproof travel lock. Look how sexy this thing is. So if you want to look just as good as the actual trimmer, you got to use the trimmer. So manscaped.com, use promo code SHOWERLION. Amazing products, guys. Go check it out and save yourself 20% by using promo code SHOWERLION. Brand new Lawnmower 4.0. And finally, guys, head on over to fantrax.com/FFC and you get automatically entered once you sign up. Listen to this, to win a signed Josh Allen jersey. And if you guys want those results, follow Fantrax on Instagram. That's FANTRAX. Follow them, and they're going to announce it there at the end of the month, okay? So Josh Allen jersey, fantrax.com/FFC, and sign up, guys. You want to switch over your leagues to a more customizable platform, guys, okay? The 4-letter networks, they're not doing it for me anymore. I switched over. You should too. Way more control over your leagues. Fantrax.com/FFC. Check them out. All right, so let's dive into this top 10 players to avoid list. Now, again, these names are massive. They're big names, and a lot of these guys could actually really still do well. But I'm going to avoid them because there's other players I prefer to draft, more optimal players that aren't necessarily coming off a pinnacle year, but it could really crush it this year, and you get for really good value. That's why 16 rounds, it goes above rankings, okay? It's well ahead of the game. So let's talk about them, okay? And smash thumbs up, guys. Let me know in the comments. Who do you avoid? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Want to get a lot of feedback here if you're watching on YouTube, okay? First player here is Jalen Hurts. I mean, he had one explosive game, week 15, one boom game where he had like 37 fantasy points. I'm not trusting him. Now, there is some good news. He's working under Nick Sirianni, who's worked with Andrew Luck, and he's also worked with Phillip Rivers. Now, here's the deal, okay? There's no commitment that Jalen Hurts is even going to start. There was even talk about them flirting with Deshaun Watson. So those reasons alone, I'm staying away. But that's just the gravy and the cherry on top. We're talking about a guy who's unproven in the NFL, 6 touchdowns, 4 interceptions last year. We saw his 63 rushing attempts, which is kind of interesting. He's going to rush the ball, put up a lot of points, and that's a problem. A lot of people think he's going to be Lamar Jackson. Could he be? Sure. Yeah, maybe. I'm not risking a top 9 pick. He's not number 9 on the Conchipsis rankings. I'm staying away. He's way too high. He's way too overrated on an offense that I don't even trust. Yes, they brought in rookie Devontae Smith. They've got a couple weapons, but nothing to get all excited about, right? Trust me, guys. I mean, Flacco's breathing down his neck now. He's not even slated as the starter. They're flirting with Watson. He's unproven. He's way too high on the ADP. When you look at a quarterback, go for a guy who's a little more secure, a little more stable, a guy that's a little more proven, especially if you're investing relatively early. A guy like, I would say, Russell Wilson is a lot safer than him, okay? So there's way better options. I'm personally staying away from him, and I don't regret doing it. Even if he becomes the next Lamar Jackson, I'm okay. I'm going to get a Justin Herbert. I'm going to get a backup later. Matt Ryan's going to outperform this guy as well, and he's a steal. Ryan Tannehill. So many other more safe options when you go to quarterback, because that's one position that's less volatile. You kind of know what you get. What you see is what you get. So I'm going to fade Jalen Hurts completely. Way overrated for me. And again, a lot of people are crazy about him. I am personally not, okay? Second guy here, let's talk about him, is Matt Stafford. I don't get it. I don't see the hype. He is really, really hyped up right now on the consensus that Sheep says. And I understand he's going to a better coach. He's going to a better offense, better receivers, better situation, theoretically, on paper. But it's Matt Stafford, you know? You could take the suck out of Detroit, but, you know, whatever that saying is, right? He sucked in Detroit. I mean, this is a guy that had Megatron on his team. He didn't win a Super Bowl, right? He was in his prime at the time. Now he's aging. Last year, where did he finish? 16th amongst quarterbacks. Guys, that's not exciting. Finishing 16th amongst quarterbacks. This is a guy that people are promoting very highly this year, okay? 29th in 2019, played 8 games, and he finished 20th amongst quarterbacks in 2018. He's not finishing top 5, top 10. And again, yes, you know, he's upgraded his team, but again, I don't trust it. I'm personally staying away. Another guy you definitely want to avoid. There's way better quarterbacks out there to choose from. I'm going to fade Matt Stafford. Don't see the hype, okay? He's going to be safe and solid. Don't get me wrong. I'm going to avoid him, okay? You should too. Third guy here, again, a lot of people crazy about him. You've heard me talk about this guy. This is going to sound like a broken record, but I don't care because I like to speak facts. Nick Chubb, sitting 10th right now amongst running backs in PPR. Here's the deal, and I've told you this. I'm not going to spend too much time on this. Kareem Hunt outscored him last year. Now you're saying, Joe, he got hurt last year. I get it, but Kareem Hunt outscored him. And when you're looking at a guy like Nick Chubb, you're looking at a guy who is a one-trick pony. He likes to rush, pure runner, which is good, but you're guaranteed that he's going to lose the receptions from Kareem Hunt. And the thing is, it's like, why am I investing in a running back in the first round, very high draft capital, for a guy I know he's not going to get those receptions? Why not get a complete back, a guy like Najee Harris potentially, or a Cam Akers, a guy where there's upside and ceiling, a little bit of uncertainty, but upside and ceiling, knowing that there's no Kareem Hunt breathing down his neck. I'm going to fade him just for the reason that he's way too early in draft capital for me, knowing that there's a guy that's equally as good in Kareem Hunt behind him. And that's all I got to say about this. I'm going to fade him. I don't trust him. Bottom line, Kareem Hunt is going to be a thorn in your side, and he's going to be a thorn to anyone who drafts Nick Chubb. We've seen it before. We're going to see it again. You're guaranteed that Nick Chubb is going to lose a lot of volume to Kareem Hunt. And we see a 50-50 split in regards to fantasy points week by week. So I'm staying away. Period. I don't care how big of a game Nick Chubb has. So if Nick Chubb has a 30-point game, I'm pissed because Kareem Hunt took 20 of those points, right, in that game, because 20 points went to Kareem, 30 to Chubb. I don't care. I still want all my points. So I'm going to get a guy with ultra high ceiling that doesn't have a committee. I'm fading Nick Chubb. Number 4 here, DeAndre Swift. They brought in Jamal Williams. That's all I got to say. Period. Zilch. That's it. Another thing I'm going to say is that we don't trust the Detroit at all. These guys are flirting with guys like Todd Gurley. They don't believe in DeAndre Swift. That's all I got to say. Just trust me on this one. Yes, the talent is there. I like Swift. There's nothing wrong with the guy personally. There's nothing wrong with the guy talent-wise. It's a team. It's the offense. I don't trust them. They've got no wide receivers. Now, Hawkinson and Amon-Ra St. Brown could step up. Other than that, I don't trust any other receiver on that team. I don't trust this offense. You know, Goff, man, I mean, he's not that good. So I think they're going to do okay. They maybe make a playoff run. I doubt it. I don't trust Swift there as a guy. And the thing is, you're getting him 16th. You're getting him around where Najee Harris is coming off. I think on the consensus, if you're looking at ADP, when you're doing your drafts on the platforms, you're going to see DeAndre Swift sitting there with Najee. I mean, it's a no-brainer to me. I'm not touching DeAndre Swift, okay? And he's going to be coming off in the second round. That's a big no-no for me, okay? Next guy here, I know it's not the popular opinion, but I got to talk about Dalvin Cook. If you checked out the last episode a couple episodes ago, I battled it out. Check the episode Why the F Not with me and the bald guy a couple episodes back. I'm not drafting Cook. Now, again, he hasn't finished the season. He screwed you in your fantasy football championships going back in 2019. Was not there. Got hurt in the fantasy football championships. I don't know what else to tell you. Okay, 4 games, year 1, 11 games year 2. So yeah, we can write those off. And he finished 14 games the last couple seasons. And you could say, well, Joe, he's had 2 great seasons. That's great. Those are Cinderella seasons. It's not going to happen. Decline and injury coming. Stay tuned, guys. And I don't wish injury on anybody, but I'm telling you guys, I do not trust Dalvin Cook. I do not trust Dalvin Cook. Has not finished the season, so you can almost guarantee yourself that he's missing 2 games. It's up to you to decide what those 2 games are. 100%. This is like a track record, right? If you're in a relationship and someone cheats on you once, I promise I won't do it again. Cheats on you twice, and then the next couple times it was a minor cheat. He just kissed somebody this time. And then the next time he just, maybe he just, made out with somebody on a park bench instead of the full thing. 4th time, 4 times he's cheated on you. There's a good chance, guys. There's a little bit of a good chance that he might do it the 5th time. Not trusting Dalvin Cook. He's going to miss 2 games. That could be your fantasy football championship. That could be week 1. That could be a week where you need the points the most. I'm staying away. Period. That's it. Number 6, Austin Ekeler due for a huge boom year, and I get it. Trust me, I get it. So I'm just going to go ahead and fade him for many reasons. Number 1, he was a backup. Whenever a person is a backup, meaning when they come into the league and they've had years on the bench behind mediocre running backs and couldn't beat those running backs, I'm going to stay away. I'm going to fade that. Austin Ekeler sucks. He's a good catching back at best, but he's not going to get the rushing attempts. He's not going to have that full workhorse volume, and he's sitting 7th on the consensus rankings in PPR amongst running backs. So if you want him, you got to get him in the 1st round. I'm not touching him. Even early 2nd, not touching him. 3rd round, not touching him. 4th round, he's going to be gone. For sure, someone's going to grab him. Not going to grab Austin Ekeler. Period. Zilch. Nada. Now, again, disclaimer, I love this offense. Love Herbert. Love the opportunity. They got, I think, Larry Roundtree in, I think, 4th, 5th, 6th round. He may emerge. Who knows? But this guy's not a workhorse running back, okay? I'm getting Roundtree later. Is that the guy? I think he was 6th round. Let me just look up what round he was. I believe it doesn't even matter. You can get Larry Roundtree the 3rd for absolutely free. He is your prototype. Yeah, he was 6th round. I just want to confirm. Out of Missouri, 210 pounds, 5'10". Prototypical running back. He's going to get the goal line work, okay? Austin Ekeler is not a full workhorse running back, okay? Give me Larry Roundtree with the last pick. Nobody knows who he is, okay? Number 7, Devontae Adams. Oh my God, Joe, how could you say that? I know Devontae Adams. Are you nuts? 18 touchdowns last year. Let me repeat that. 18 touchdowns last year. If he gets 18 touchdowns this year, I'm going to quit fantasy football. Mark it. Okay? He's not getting 18 touchdowns. And coming off a Cinderella season with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, we don't even know if he's playing at the time of this recording. He probably is, assuming he is. Adams has a good season. He's not getting 18 touchdowns. A decline is imminent. How much of a decline, we don't know. An injury could happen. We've seen him get hurt in the past. Robert Tonyan's coming in getting some red zone targets. Trust me, he's safe and solid, but am I grabbing a guy in the 1st round based on an amazing year last year? No, I'm going to fade him as well. Devontae Adams sitting number 2-3 on the consensus rankings. I'm staying away. Number 8 here, Justin Jefferson. Joe, hold on. Pump the brakes. 1,400-yard rookie season. Sophomore slump coming, guys. Stay tuned. He still could have a good season. I read some memes saying, well, hey, listen, guys, a lot of people think I'm going to be down this year. That's going to motivate me to do well. And he could be a phenomenal receiver. And I was all over Jefferson. I was the only guy telling you to draft Jefferson last year in the 8th round. If you got 16 rounds, you know what I'm talking about. You're part of the crew here, and I appreciate you guys. Get it below. Get 16 rounds. You'll understand what we're talking about for this year. You'll be light years ahead of the competition. This guy was a waiver wire wonder, but he was on my rosters everywhere. We saw that the fact that Diggs was gone, there's 150 freed up targets. We know that offense likes to throw the ball a lot. We know that Jefferson was good in college. All the stars were aligning for a good year, but am I paying a 2nd round pick for him? No, I'm not. I'm going to get Thielen later. He's a touchdown machine. I get the value and I get my workhorse running backs. I still get theoretically the wide receiver 1 in Thielen. Give me Thielen, fading Jefferson, Thielen 5th, 6th round value. Boom. Stay away from Jefferson. I'm going running back there. Another guy, number 9 here. I'm fading him as well, and I'm going to explain why. A.J. Brown. Very simple, guys. Here's why I'm fading him. 106 targets last year. Now, I know he didn't play the full season. 106 targets last year. To be a top 10 wide receiver, you need a lot of targets. You need about 140, 50 targets, right? 106 targets. No Julio there. Julio's there now. Like, are you kidding me? We're talking about a run-first team where Derrick Henry ran more than anybody else. 378 rushing attempts. And you're telling me that A.J. Brown's a top 8 wide receiver with Julio there and Derrick Henry and Matt Ryan? He was 18th in pass attempts last year. Now, if Ryan Tannehill, I apologize. Ryan Tannehill was 18th in passing attempts last year. Ryan Tannehill. If Ryan Tannehill, what I was trying to say is if Ryan Tannehill was Matt Ryan throws more than anybody else in the league, along with like guys like Big Ben. If Ryan Tannehill, got my Ryans wrong, if Ryan Tannehill was Matt Ryan, maybe there's a chance. But I don't think Ryan Tannehill throws enough. Not even what I think. Last year, 18th in attempts passing. 378 rushing attempts for Henry. Now, if we decrease the attempts for Henry, there's an uptick a little bit for at targets for A.J. Brown, but with Julio there. Now you can say, well, Joe, double coverage on Julio, things are going to open up for A.J. Brown. Maybe, yeah, sure. But is there going to be enough targets to make him a top 5, top 10 guy? Wide receiver? Highly doubt it. I'm going to fade him. And again, I'm going running back early anyway. And the final guy, I had to put him in here because you guys know me, Odell Beckham Jr. Now, I got to say this, another disclaimer. This is the first year where I think his value is good. 5th round, not bad. I'm going to avoid him. Period. Zilch. Nada. Just not going to draft him. Odell Beckham Jr., just avoid him. He busted 4 years in a row. He's the most overrated wide receiver in the history of fantasy football. He's a disgrace to the fantasy football industry. Shame on you, Ken Sheepsis, for promoting this guy, Odell Beckham Jr. Avoid him like the plague for the 5th year in a row. I'm telling you, yet still people have this guy as a wide receiver one on the team. When Landry, the first year these guys got together in Cleveland, I said, Landry's better than Odell. You're nuts. You're crazy. You're nuts. Landry outperforms him every single year. Okay? Injuries, I don't care. Durability is a part of it. If you get injured, you're a bust. Period. That's it. Okay? You're not on the field. You're not producing fantasy points. You're a bust. All right? Those are your top 10 players to avoid. Guys, draft somebody else. If you want to know who to draft, get the 16-round draft solution. I've linked it below. I'm out, guys. Subscribe. Leave a thumbs up. I appreciate you guys. If you're new to the channel, subscribe for God's sakes and stop listening to this sheep. We'll talk soon.